Okay, is this started? Okay. Hey, Chet, what's up? Today we're on a market breakdown and analysis on these three pairs. I'm going to focus on gold, Nasdaq, and USD. So we're going to break down what we'll be looking out for this upcoming week, the forecast we will be seeing this upcoming week. So as you can see, the chart you are viewing here, it's a gold chart. As you can see, already we have lines that are placed in the chart, but I'm going to analyze afresh from the bigger time frame. So what I do in terms of analyzing, I start from the top to the bottom analysis, the top bottom analysis. So I focus on a bigger time frame for analyzing and go back to a smaller time frames for entries. So I use 30 minutes time frame and 15 minutes time frame for my entry points. Then for my confirmations, I go to 4 hour time frame and see where I can enter the trade, and also my market direction as them. Yeah. So let's start. First of all, I'm going to go to my weekly time frame because my weekly time frame gives me the overall direction of the week without being biased and stuff. But however, most of the time before I do this thing, I also check the economic data in terms of news. I see the news that we're having throughout the week. But this week seems like we're having a free flow. There are no much news we can expect. Only from Wednesday, I think we have a crude oil inventories news, and Thursday we have jobless claims news, and Friday we have PCE, which is consumption, something like PCE, purchase consumption expenditure, something like that. So as you can see on our weekly time frame, what I see is that we're on a bullish move. Already we have this uh high. Okay. Already we have this imbalance candlestick which was created the week before this week. You understand? So you can have this imbalance bearish candlestick which was created, and also below you can see around this area we have the area of demand where the sellers have been stopped out multiple times, starting from this zone going to this zone. So this tells us on price that we're looking for buyers to fill up this imbalance we're getting here. So the way I define an imbalance candlestick is an imbalance candlestick is a candlestick that is it's it has a big move than other candlestick. You understand? Has more volume than other candlestick, which gives us an imbalance in terms of how price is moving, where most price was filled up or where most volume was held up. So what I have identified below is our area of demand. You understand? I'm seeing where the buyers have staked up their prices and where they are going to look up to an advantage to fill up the price so that they can cover up the imbalance candlestick, which is this bearish candlestick here. This bearish candlestick. So what I'm looking out for, I'm looking for this for a coming candlestick to fill up this zone. You understand? Already we have a forecast where we're seeing our direction moving according to we're seeing this area of we're seeing this candlestick of the buyers pushing towards the upside and close between the previous imbalance candlestick of the sellers. So that shows that we're still expecting the buyers pushing towards the upside. That's how I'm looking for price to reach up to the zone. So understand that this is not a financial advice, it's just content related stuff. So I hope you adhere to what I'm saying now. So since I've analyzed on our weekly time frame, I'm going to go back to my daily time frame and see what I'm having actually to place my demand areas, supports, and also my order blocks and slash and order blocks, and also sell stop liquidities and buy stop liquidities. Those are the only key levels I look at in the markets when I'm analyzing. So guys, already you can see on a daily time frame. Let me go back to my weekly time frame. I mistakenly not identified these lines I've placed in here. Let me see if I'm able. Yeah, already guys, as you know, around March we had a bearish move. Sorry, a bullish move taking over towards the upsides due to the effect of the tariff being in effect around March. You can see how the buyers took advantage of the tariff issue, pushing liquidity towards the upside in an impulsive way without any correction. Any correction you can see on our the time frame. So as you can see, I've created a trend line that shows that during that time we're still aligning on this trend line, but when time went around the price of 3,400 and 3,400 and 3,000, yeah, around the price of 3,400, we saw the price of the buyers fading away, bringing up the trend line we're seeing on our weekly time frame and giving us a retest. But this one, when I see it, it's not a possible retest because the buyers haven't retested like closely to that line I've placed. Let me see something like let me go to weekly time frame, no, daily time frame, and see if I'm able to view the line very well. So check, as you can see, this line I've placed it very well. You understand? I placed it very well. As you can see, around July we saw price fading away of the buyers, letting the sellers to take over or creating another trend. As you can see, it has created another trend coming from this area of demand, then fading away, creating a correction, breaking, creating a new trend. Uh, you can see, check. It has created a new trend here. It has created a new trend which I'm following because you can see the line below here, this line here. It shows my new trend which is being developed here after creating a correction or breaking this weekly trend line from the tariff effect. You understand? So what I'm seeing here is that the price looking out for is that I'm still bullish on gold, but since we're having and then last week we had on Friday we had an event of which is what Jackson Hole, where the Fed committees placed a lot of comments about how the market condition is and on overall the job market, how bad the job market is, and how effective they are going to be in terms of cutting the rates or being observant in terms of how the market is moving at this point, because the job market is in a bad state at this point. So in order to bring things in a better state, they have to bring some adjustments in terms of the interest rates, monetary policies, those kind of stuff. So what I'm looking out for is that I'm seeing also a correction here. I don't know if you can see it on a weekly time frame. This correction here, this correction I'm seeing here. So you can see, chat, this correction is something else I'm seeing here. I think that price will be playing around this zone for like 3 months to come, from September, October, November. I don't know how we're going to break up this zone because this is a correction that is happening on our daily time frames. You understand? It's a strong correction. So it's either we can be on a correction movement for a minute until next year or what. But this is how I'm looking for price to be doing at this point. To be pushing towards this high where the where there's our area of supply, where our area of supply, strong area of supply is. You understand? So this is how I'm looking for price to be doing. You understand? But in order for me to seeing this kind of move be happening, I need to be more patient because you can't just be hoping for this kind of move to be happening inside the markets and without being patient. So As you can see already, already I have identified my moves, man. Now even you can analyze your side, you can see we're on a bullish movement. Also checking how this imbalance is being created from last week Friday move. This imbalance can stick. Um, this imbalance can stick. You can see how huge volume, how much volume it has towards the upside. So what I'm going to look out for, I'm going to mark. As you can see already, I've identified where I'm going, where the direction of the market is moving on a daily time frame, also on our weekly time frame. So now I'm on my 4 hour candlestick. So on a 4 hour candlestick, most of the time I determine the daily range. Yes, then I determine how am I going to catch up on it. How am I going to catch a trade on a daily time frame, on a daily, on my daily days. You understand? So what I'm going to identify first, I have this area of demand here. I have this area of demand. Then I'm going to mark up an area of buy stop liquidity where I saw the buyers being stopped out multiple times on a strong supply area of supply. So what I see is that my strong supply zone is this one, and we haven't tested this zone for like days, if I can say so. As you can see, price pushed up and break this smaller downtrend, you understand, and retested this smaller downtrend and pushed towards the upside where this our area of supply slash buy stop liquidity where the buyers have stopped out last time. So you can see how we're seeing the buyers reacting towards this zone is that they are respecting this zone, because if they were not respecting this zone, we wouldn't getting this weak declining towards this zone. I said this zone shows that it's effective, but what I'm looking out for is that we're overall bullish in this move. You understand? What I'm looking out for is a retest towards this zone. It's a retest towards this zone. That's when I'll be taking a trade. But if we're still declining, um, if we're still declining around this area of supply, pushing towards the downside, because I'll be looking for sellers. But if we're able to retest above this area of supply slash buy stop liquidity, or this high here, if I can say so, I'm going to enter the buys. But if we don't break above, I'm not going to take buys. I'm going to look for sells. Scaling back to my 4 hour, my 1 hours, my 1 hour time frame, I see that the sellers try to take over this price, but you can see the price of the buyers was getting exhausted. I don't know if it was looking out to retest, but already back at that time when the sellers were trying to take over, it was already late. It was close to the market close on Friday. You understand? So the market was on is near uh, near the time of closing. So, but I'll be holding on price, but I'll I'll be holding on price, and also I'll be trading on Tuesday because I don't think there will be much volume tomorrow, Monday or Monday open. But I'll be checking the market also. I'm not saying I won't be trading, but if there's an opportunity arising on gold for me to enter the trade, I'll be taking this kind of trade. But if we close above, but already we're getting a retest, but feels like I'm getting a price of the buyers being exhausted around the zone. Yeah, Chad. So this is what I'm seeing for markets this week. This week, so you can see is the day is Sunday, 24, 24 Sunday August. So I'll be looking for how the markets will be moving from now on. I'll update you on my second video on Tuesday when I'm taking on the trade or when I see how the prices reacted. But this is how I'm looking out for this week. The buyers have to take over towards the upside to fill up that area of supply, because you can see the buyers the one driving the price at this point. So another one, I'm going to go to USDT. Before I go to USDT, I have to confirm with you because you know the correlation the inverse correlation between the dollar and the gold, dollar and gold. Yes, you know that dollar when goes up, gold goes down. So there is an inverse correlation in these two pairs. So as you can see, already on dollar side, we are still pushing lower. Dollar is losing its strength, and it's pushing the investors to it's pushing the perspective of the investors towards investing in gold as a safe haven asset. You understand? Because you can see, dollar has been declining for like months now, and is not getting any recovery zones to push itself towards the upside. Even on a daily time frame, you can't say I'm going to seeing dollar covering or recovering its prices or what, because we've been playing around the price of 99 and the price of 76. This is the last touch we had for this year, and we're still looking forward to go around that price again. It's again 96, 96, 96, yeah. Let me see, 96 instead of 96. So still looking for the dollar to decline, you understand, to give gold more room to push towards the upside, because dollar has been declining like nobody's business. So there's no way you can say I'm not buying gold at this time until we get a further notice about cutting rates. That's when I'll be saying dollar will be getting more strength, or something has to push dollar. It's either a data or market sentiment has to push dollar towards the upside, or any something that has to happen in terms of the geopolitical events or economic news. So the last pair I'm going to analyze is USDT, because I'm looking at time and time is moving. So I'm going to start on my weekly time frame on USDT to. It's one of the pairs I like trading, including Nasdaq, but not going to analyze Nasdaq on this video. For upcoming next video, I'm going to also analyze Nasdaq. Um, so, however, as you can see on this last week, or this week, I can say, or this last week, we can see we've seen buyers pushing towards the upside, breaking the all-time zone. As you can see, we have broken up the all-time zone, showing that the buyers are still looking forward to push, are still looking forward to buy USD. You understand? I'm I'm also looking forward to buying USD at this point, but I'm looking for price adjustment. You understand? At least we can get a retest around this zone to take off the price of the sellers, because without that I can't. It's hard to trade all time high. So as I seen that the price that is left off in terms of the indexes, Nasdaq is left off. The one that is forward is USD. So Nasdaq is in the price. The price range is in there. According it's on order, but the USD one is at the all-time high zone, and it's hard to trade all-time high zones. So, however, I'm still looking for the buy since we have broken up the all-time high zone. But at least we can get a retest here on our daily time frame. That is when I say, okay, let's buy now. But like this, pushing high like this, something else, because it's my final like the price of the buys is already exhausted, and the sellers are looking to take over. The time you enter with the buys, that's when the sellers are taking over the price, and it's a bad trade. And because you can't analyze very well in terms of the price, or can place well a Fibonacci. You understand? You can place your Fibonacci very well. So guys, you need to understand I also make use of Fibonacci retracement as my indicator of entry points. I forgot to place it on gold, but before I end this video, I'm going to place the Fibonacci retracement so that you can see how I place my Fibonacci retracement. But on overall, what I'm seeing on USD, I'm not going to analyze a lot on USD. This is what you'll be seeing on USD at this point. This is my daily time frame. This is what I'm seeing on USD. I'm still looking for buys, but for those buys to play out, I have to wait for a retest in the market. I'm not going to enter without a retest. I'm not going to enter without a retest. So this is the move that broke the all-time high.